Welcome back to Inside Criminal Minds, the series dedicated to dissecting the elite BAU team. If you're new to the series, there's a link down in the description to catch you up. Now, this episode starts with a house that is taken care of by this shadowy figure who is also taking care of a woman on a bed, which is not creepy whatsoever. Next, Elle and Morgan are discussing their plans for their vacation, with Morgan remarking that the entire team is on vacation at the same time, with Elle even bringing up other teams, which makes sense. Why would the FBI only have one team? However, this plot point only exists for spin-offs. However, Reed enters, Morgan chastises him, then leaves as soon as he enters, Elle slamming family time when Hotch defends it as he leaves, and so does Gideon.
I'll be lost in a cabin in the woods for the next 2 weeks. Do not call me for anything. Have a great time. You all deserve a break. Seriously, don't call.
So this episode should be a pretty easy one, considering the team is on vacation. After Gideon leaves, we get a shot of the house from before, with pictures of the team strewn across the desk, where the Unsub uses an intercom system to inform the lady from earlier, we now see is chained up, that he is leaving and ensures her that her imprisonment will be over soon. Next, Elle and Morgan are basking in paradise in Jamaica, enjoying themselves, when Morgan peels himself away to meet a woman, and as he leaves, Elle finds a man to flirt with. Meanwhile, Hotch is cleaning up his garage to help Haley, and while all of this is happening, Gideon is cooking dinner, and he really needs to be more careful because cutting onions like that, he's liable to lose a finger. But other than that, the food does look pretty good. We also get a glimpse of Gideon's security measures at the cabin as a friend joins him. All while Garcia is back at Quantico playing something that looks like RuneScape when JJ barges in and relents she is not on vacation, so the team has cases to work when everybody's back. Also, we learn about Garcia's love life through the game she is playing, which can't factor into the plot at all. Finally, we see Reed admiring his mom from afar. This is where we learn that Reed's mom suffers from schizophrenia, a disease that as of now is incurable, and it makes Reed's mom see hallucinations. This almost embarrasses Reed so much that he only talks to one of the nurses and leaves a book. And this really must be tough on Reed, knowing so much about the human behavior and human psychology, however not being able to help his loving mother. It's gotta be one of the most difficult things in his life. However, back at Jamaica, Elle is dancing with the guy she met, shooing Morgan away, but then we see Hotch and Haley talk about their first meeting and why he should keep the dorky pirate hat, which then they get a little frisky, which is when we return to Gideon's cabin, where he's entertaining a lady friend with the delicious food he prepared. This is where they dance, but suddenly Hotch gets a call from the Unsub describing some clues to a potential crime. Then back at the hotel, the security find a dead body in a room. All of this while Garcia is getting hacked back in Virginia. Then Gideon's security system blares, alerting him to a delivery guy who leaves a package with "Save Her" emblazed on an envelope that contains a baseball card and also a disembodied head. All while security follows the bloodstains to Elle's room, where she is promptly subdued and brought in for questioning. While this is going on, Gideon quickly leaves with his lady. As Elle is being questioned, she relents on being a cop and that she isn't the killer, even with Morgan backing her up and investigating the room, trying to get local police to understand him. This is where Morgan's friend reveals that the man who was murdered didn't show up on his own, but had a friend in the adjoining room, and typical for Morgan, he kicks it down to find the room is spotless, meaning the guy is running. Morgan even tries to get some info on this guy from Garcia, but gets promptly yelled at because of the hack. When Gideon makes it back to the BAU, JJ tries to catch him up. What a way to enjoy your vacation. A head in a box, a dead body, and a mysterious phone call. Don't unsubs understand vacations?
The key word there is vacation.
Hotch beelines it to Jamaica in order to clear L's name, which he does spectacularly. Also, extremely lucky that there was no more evidence that was left in Jamaica, because the three of them hightail it back to Virginia. This is when JJ finds a rare butterfly on her desk, and we can surmise from this unsub is quite dramatic. As Reed is about to see his mom, the front desk bestow him a package with a key and a note, prompting Reed to book it back to the BAU, where JJ reveals the butterfly to Gideon, who is starting to become a little bit more apathetic. We learn more about this throughout the episode, but while all that's going on, we get a small glimpse at the victim, whose health seems to be declining. Then L, Morgan, and Hotch return to the BAU and debrief about the clues, with L being extremely tired due to last night's escapades. Gideon and JJ talk about how they were shipped very specific items when Garcia shows up and explains to the room about she being hacked.
Wireless internet.
By wirelessly hooking into the net here to get online, the hacker could have gotten into my computer first.
While playing that game she was playing earlier, and this is actually pretty realistic from what could happen in real life. However, she is able to find the Jamaica killer. They say his name in the show, but really you don't need to know that. And they find out where he's located, which forces the team to investigate. When they open his door, they find the killer impaled by a medieval sword, and writing on the wall in blood, same as in Jamaica. But the words introduce the team to the fact that the game has truly began. This is when the coroner finds something on the sword instructing the team on how to find the next clue.
Come on, are we in the middle of an Indiana Jones movie?
When Reed shows up and figures out the clue in mere seconds.
Reed, do not ever go away again.
Then Reed casts a shadow in order to find what's hidden, which just so happens to be a music box with a hair sample, a DVD, and a note. And Gideon is really playing into the apathy in this scene. Very top-notch for him. Back at the BAU, they watch the DVD and surmise that the unsub has some kind of deformity, but also give them the rule that no one else can help them in this search. And this is where Gideon finally breaks and Hotchner follows. This is where Gideon reveals why he's been so apathetic, and that is because the cabin was meant to get away from death and destruction laid down by the unsub, which is very interesting that he has a place of his own that separates him from his work, which is now tainted by this unsub. But as Hotchner leaves the office, he sees Haley, who has another clue, prompting Hotch to ask about the package, which was containing a cipher. Also, JJ lets the team know who was captured. It was Rebecca Bryant. As the rest of the team discuss the clues, Gideon gets Hotch to get a sketch artist for Haley to try to find this guy who met the unsub. And is it just me, or does Gideon look a lot like Inigo Montoya right here?
There will be blood tonight!
Gideon gets JJ to hold a press conference, which severely angers the unsub. Hotch then sends L home for just being too exhausted. However, once L is home, the unsub shows up to remind the team of the rules. When
This was important!
Yeah, honestly, I didn't see this one coming. Normally the team might get some bruises or some cuts, but they don't really ever get shot unless they have a bulletproof vest on. However, this is the perfect way to end the first season, and the best way to entice people to come back for the second season. This episode was very much a lot of middle, which is fine because it is a two-parter, the first two-parter, but that doesn't detract any of the points from it. There's a lot of build-up to the end, but it does really work. However, it is pretty sad that the people who had to watch this season when it first came out, they had to wait almost 6 months just to see what happened to the characters. However, we did get some really good character development for Reed. This season was very light with Reed episodes, but in the next season, we get more than we can pretty much handle. But all in all, this was a very good episode to end with. Thanks for watching, and if you would want to see a spy fighting to get his job back, watch my other series, series, Burned Notice. Links in the description. And as always, please like, share, and subscribe.